I think a lot of people in Europe think that football doesn't exist in America.
It's not really a top league. The supporters are fake.
The history isn't there.
To the back, the left foot shot, goal!
Older man's league.
Jack Harrison!
It's showbiz.
Americans don't really know how to play the game.
I don't care what anybody says. Now we have our own thing. And it's not continental European, it's not South American, it's not English, it's North American football sport.
And the rivalries still have to grow, but this is how this league will be really special.
From North British Columbia down to about the middle of Oregon is typically what we call Cascadia, where it follows the Cascades mountain ranges. Vancouver is a new Hollywood. Seattle's tech heavy, and then Portland is often handmade, crafty, Portlandia-esque, if you will. We kind of think that this area of the country is unique.
You come out here because you want to create your own way of doing things.
We have a population that is from all over.
We have pride regionally in Cascadia, and that's shared all the way from Vancouver to Portland.
But when it comes to the soccer rivalry in Cascadia, the Whitecaps, the Sounders, and the Timbers do not like each other.
The fan bases cannot stand each other.
They think we're scum.
It's a whole different type of feeling when Portland comes to town or Vancouver comes to town.
I say to the guys, every time they step out on that pitch and play in a derby game, it's a special occasion.
If they get one over on us, you know, I feel a little bit personally responsible, and it hurts, you know, it stings.
In rivalries, you've got to go through success and hurt. You've got to feel what it means to lose in the last minute or concede a goal in the last minute to understand what it really means. And that takes time.
Something that needs to be recognized outside of North America is that your closest away day is 3.5 hours one way with a land border.
Based on that distance between them that allows that regional pride to come into play.
The proximity of the other cities just makes it all the more heated and all the more exciting.
It's the only league I know that actually wins a trophy when you play in a derby game.
In 2004, the supporters collected some money and produced the Cascadia Cup to reflect the rivalry between the three teams.
It's authentic. The supporters bought the Cascadia Cup. It wasn't invented and sponsored to try to add meaning to a game.
It came from us. We really like the idea of creating something from nothing or barely anything.
Now, when you watch Timbers versus Sounders or Timbers versus Whitecaps, before you even see the kits on the field, you know you can place that game right away. You know what our tifo looks like. You know what our stadiums sound like. We've found our voice, and we don't really need to copy anybody else's anymore.
We can really make this the foundation that the league builds upon. Every city can look like Seattle as far as the level of supporting. Every city could be a Portland.
I get tired of people like, oh, when is New York going to care about soccer? New York's been a soccer city. The only thing we needed was soccer to watch.
There's so much diversity in New York. There's fans from all across Europe, all across South America.
Argentina, France, Honduras, Ecuador, and everyone comes together under one thing, and that's, the New York Red Bulls.
New York City Football Club.
It's that inner city rivalry that every league around the world has.
New York City Football Club started in 2013. That was when the announcement was made.
We were original in '96. These guys just kind of got their free pass to the big leagues. It was a bitter pill to swallow for a lot of New York Red Bulls fans.
There's beef. There's beef there. We got Manchester City Light. We get Plastic, that we're a plastic club. I remember people used to say like, oh, how can you be a fan of a team that hasn't played yet? So when can I be a fan? You tell me when I can be a fan. I can be a fan whenever the hell I want.
Whether we'd like to admit it or not, this has been good for New York Red Bulls. They were the gunpowder, and NYCFC was the match that was lit in the explosion of what is now the New York Derby.
As far as rivalries or derby, I think this is the most important one for the league. We're in the media capital of the world. People are paying attention.
The Cascadia Derby, it is fantastic, but I don't know if it'll ever hit headlines in Europe like a New York Derby would.
It could be one of those things that everyone in the world knows about, everyone in the world pays attention to. It's going to take a while, but the passion's already there.
People in Europe, they're born into a team, whereas here I think they have a lot of opportunity to really make the game their own.
You know, we started out banging pickle buckets. Now we have tifo displays that take hundreds of gallons of paint.
For us, we're just kind of enjoying the moment. I mean, who gets to see the beginning of a club?
That's the unique thing, is being here at the beginning of that history.
There is something very envious. I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans would have liked to have been there in the beginning, to have had a part in what their team was about to develop into.
I think we're starting to figure out what it took to get up to that bar, but there's still a lot of work to do.
Rivalries are all about supporters. So every time we play in these Cascadia Cup games, you know, I get the players to play for them.
Something I can guarantee is that players from outside, we're going to play with a lot of love for the game, and we want to do well for our fans.
I think there's a real opportunity to build football culture in America, to create their own rituals, create their own celebrations, and just kind of make their own version of the sport.